All right, all right. We are about to begin the judging or presentation, like reviewing presentations of the submissions. Welcome to the final day of Shock the Web. We are here. This was our shortest event. We're playing around with different formats, lots to learn. We're also testing out this new platform with the stories that we've been working on. But I think we're gonna start inviting up some of the judges now, and I'll see them as they are on my screen here. I'll invite them up one by one, and we'll have a little chat, and then we will begin to watch the videos, the different video submissions that people have been putting in. I know a lot of people have been busy this weekend, so yeah, busy hacking. So anyone who was able to participate, thank you so much. All right, I see Steven up here. You want camera, Steven, or no camera? Okay, he's muted for now. Connor, what about you? You want to get up? Ready to go? All right. Hey there, Mr. Connor.
Yo, how's it going? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
How you doing, man?
Fine.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, you took this time from your Sunday.
I'm
I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Because
I'm feeling good though. I just had my mum's rice and peas with ackee and saltfish, so my belly's full, my mind's right. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Excited.
yeah, ackee and saltfish is a staple in Jamaican cuisine. Yeah.
For real.
I haven't had it in a while. You have to be careful how you prepare it though, because it could be poisonous.
I don't think my mum's gonna poison. She hasn't poisoned me in my 30 years so far, so I think.
No, the ackee specifically. At least it is. I don't know if it's like a myth or something, but I heard like the ackee is something you have to
Okay.
like
Gotta
watch
be a
out
bit
for.
careful
Like,
with that one, yeah.
yeah, like puffer fish. Apparently, there's like a specific way to cook it and stuff.
Okay. Well, the ackee is fruit, right? So.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you're excited for Shaka Web?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm good. I'm ready to go, man. Yeah.
Let's get Oleg up here as well. Let's see. Hey there, Oleg.
Hey guys.
Is that Bitcoin orange or Fulgur orange?
Fulgur.
Okay. Nice twist there. Nice twist.
Amazing to be here. Thank you guys for putting this up. Looking forward to learn more about what's going on, and glad to be part of it.
Yeah, big up to Fulgur as well, because they're sponsoring all of the prizes, which is really awesome. So thank you guys so much for that. Definitely appreciated. All right, let's see who else we got. John Carvalho's on there. He's with us too. Mr. Cinnamon.
Happy to be here. Looking forward to seeing the submissions. I just had a Bitcoin Maximalist meetup in Lisbon yesterday, so I'm already having a full Bitcoin weekend.
Oh man, like why do Bitcoiners work on the weekends? What's this work-life balance thing?
It's not work when it's Bitcoin, you know.
Ah, true.
Big facts.
Moritz, how's it going?
Hi, John. Good evening. Or
Moritz from
whatever
Albi.
time it is there. All good here.
Yeah, you were on some of our calls this weekend as well. It's just no work-life balance. Do you know someone told us today that they weren't able to hack at Shock the Web because they went to their girlfriend's birthday celebrations. Isn't that crazy? They wasn't able to attend Shock the Web. Can't believe that. Priorities, right, man. Some people just don't have them set up. No. Roy, how's it going?
Hey guys.
How you doing, Mr. Breeze?
I'm doing great. How are you, Mr. Shock the Web?
I'm good. How's the weather over there? It's sunny.
How's the weather? You don't see me sweating? we're done in Israel for the next couple of months. Don't come to Israel. Like you can't even walk like 10 feet and you're all liquidated.
Yeah, Ed is in Vietnam right now, and he said it's 40 degrees, so I don't know if you can beat that one.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's all about the humidity, right? It's not about the temperature.
That is true. That is true. And yeah, Steven's just
Hey.
bumping around here, just bumping
Yeah.
around.
How's it going? Yeah. And then
Yeah.
Los Angeles had a Bitcoin weekend too, doing a PlebFi Los Angeles. It's a Taproot focused event, and now ready to see what people have done for Shock the Web. As you can see, I'm wearing my fashionable shoulder sash.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, these are really, this is the style in LA right now. You wear these.
It's one of these side pouches. They wear it a lot in Eastern Europe. You know, these little side pouches. They're actually super convenient, by the way. You could like put little stuff inside.
And they just snap back into place automatically.
Yes, yes. It looks like you're going through some turbulence or so. I don't know. Is what you're in California? Is it earthquake or what's
Yeah,
happening?
it's an earthquake. That's why I'm shaking and bobbing up and down, because I'm in an earthquake right now.
Damn, it's crazy how, like, you know, even a bit like even through such natural disasters, you're just Bitcoining through and through.
I know. Hey, Bitcoin fixes this.
Bitcoin fixes this indeed. Nifty Nye.
Hey everyone.
Is it Nifty Nye or Nifty Knee?
I say Nye. Hey everybody, guys. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great. Hey everyone, I'm Nifty. I can turn my camera on closely. I'm at a hotel for another hackathon this weekend. Excited to be here though. Hey, see all the cool projects people have made.
Nifty, so you're just stacking hackathons at this stage?
Yeah, basically. More like hackathon appearances, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, you're just like everywhere. Difficult to keep track. Yeah, so guys, that's most of my waffling done. If you didn't get it, I was trying to buy time. But yes, let us start going through. I think we got everyone. Yeah. Let's start going through some of these projects. We've been getting some submissions coming in, and let's have a look at them now. So to do so, I'm going to share my screen. Oops, wrong button. Share screen. And yeah, so some of you guys might know we have this kind of platform that we've been building out for kind of to try to support this community, and like the goal of having more Bitcoin products in the space and more developers, right? So we started off with this kind of directory, but then we realized we definitely don't want to manage this directory ourselves. So we need to make them user contributed, you know, like get individuals to keep their projects updated, and hopefully we could help encourage those projects to keep on building and stuff. We're working on a work in progress mode as well, where people are able to like submit projects, but it'll be kind of like in a work in progress category. And you know, like this will basically support some of the hackathon kind of functionalities and stuff, because you know sometimes we don't like, sometimes people don't want to like launch it like fully public. So yeah, we'll have this like work in progress mode. Anyway, so one of the other things that we realize is that there's not much Bitcoin tutorials and content and stuff out there, and we're all about like togetherness and fun and learning together. It's definitely a lot more fun, and sharing that knowledge as well. So we started working on these it's kind of like a Medium style thing. It's an editor, a blogging platform kind of thing. We're hoping that it's supportive of the Bitcoin, of the Bolt Fund community, and people who are at the hackathons or just within the community, they write up tutorials and stuff. So yeah, because we just need more, you know, how to set up your local dev environment and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just introducing that because we have some of the submissions that have come in using this blogging stuff that we did. The first one is the Torah storefront. So I haven't gone through these the submissions as yet, so I'm learning about them as you are. So, this is how we're gonna do this. Give me a second, sorry. I'm gonna have to restart this. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. Now, yeah, let's get
a Bitcoin Lightning storefront project that allow vendors to create stores, upload products, and their buyers will be able to pay in Bitcoins or sats. So we implemented LARF.
Sorry, I think that one. Can you guys hear the audio, by the way? Does it come through?
We can hear the audio. It might be worth going full screen, Jones.
Yeah.
Say the same thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if that's gonna work.
These are teeny tiny web apps, guys. Sorry.
LARP.
all the while
Although
Nifty's on her mobile, so it's probably even tinier.
Okay. Can you see the screen here? Can you see it full screen?
Yeah, it's a lot bigger now.
Yeah, it's better. Yes.
Okay.
Just to understand, Jones, like what's the process now? It's just us, the judges. That's the.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, so first we will be going over first we're going to be going over the videos. So far there's like 4 submissions. And we will just go through like possibly come up with some questions, give some feedback, and then go to the next video. The scoring and stuff will be done in the next period.
And sorry for the dumb question. Why are you going through that together? Like, what's the purpose of doing that together as a group?
Oh, so we're just showing it off to some of the other folks on the what do you call it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Make sure you actually do it.
I think the way that we'll probably do it.
Pretty much, John.
Should we not be doing any of the scoring now then? No.
You don't have to. You can still do this. Yourself offline. You don't. It doesn't need to be public and stuff like that. Yeah.
And I see 7 submission in the spreadsheet. So we're not going through the 7 submissions.
Yep. Oh, we got some more.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So gonna play this.
Playing side, but on the server side is working perfectly. It's a Bitcoin Lightning storefront project that allow vendors
you need to share the screen.
Create stores, upload products, and their buyers will be able to pay in Bitcoins or
I somehow hear an echo.
So we implemented LNURL and LNURP, although the LNURP is not fully done on the client side, but on the server side it's working perfectly. So I'll just walk through how the app works, but let me quickly go through the LNURL. I'll be scanning this with a Breeze wallet.
That's already a 10 for me.
There's like a user, but this particular user doesn't have any store. So I'm going to log in with a username and password to use a user that has a store. So this is like, so you can see this user has a store, currently has about 0.01 Bitcoin. So I'm going to copy the store link for this user and buy some products from this user. So I'm going to on that tab and open this and yeah. So I want to buy some products from this user. Yeah. Check out. Well, the buyers don't need to provide their username or password. We use their IPs to add their cart items. So when you want to check out, you just have to provide their emails and password. Want to kind of make it pseudonymous, where they don't really need to log in. And so this is it. The user can pay with Lightning or this. the crowdfunding is not fully done yet, but if you see when the crowdfunding link is created, we have not fully implemented the page for the front end, but on the back end is working. And also we implemented orderly invoices. We extended the Lightning expiry dates, but we've not added the HTLC part. So for now, let's just pay with Lightning. So I'm going to copy the payment request and go to my terminal. I have LND running at the moment. So I'm going to pay with my LND node. So let's see. And yeah, the payments are succeeded. So now these has been redirected back to the home page. Thank you. This is how it works.
Cool. Okay, nice one. So I think the way that might be good to do this is we're going to invite up the makers one by one. I hope everyone can hear me, by the way. My Wi-Fi is a little bit sketchy. But I think it might be useful to just invite them up one by one, and then they can speak about the project a little bit, maybe answer any questions that you guys have. So you can figure out motivations behind the products, things like that, and then we can go on after that. Does that sound good to everyone? Cool. I think we have a maximum of 10 speakers in here, so I'm going to drop off and hope that the maker joins. Oh, John's has dropped off. Okay. See you later, Johns. All right, so yeah, it was El Rafti. Feel free to join when you're ready. I've sent him through the link. Any initial,
any initial thoughts, guys? You don't have to for judgments or anything, but do you have any like questions and stuff from what you've seen so far, or feedback?
Yeah, I would be interested in what, I mean, it could be a rather broad application. Maybe the person already thought about a specific item to sell, a specific service to sell through this checkout that he built. So that's I think that's because the field of application is, for me at least, interesting in particular. Right, because yeah, it seems very similar to a BTC Pay server application, for example.
So I want to buy some for those users, yeah?
Yeah, I guess this one is more based on the LN URL specs and stuff like this.
Would it be fair to say that this is basically a e-commerce website platform that supports Lightning as a payment method? And LN URL for login?
Oh, in the meantime, Ed, would you like us to go to the next one so we could just go through the videos?
Yeah, however, I see that someone's trying to join the studio, but a couple people are free. So, Koti and Raphael, I'm just going to kick you out for now. Sorry to be blunt about it. And then I'll invite you guys back when your stream is up. I hope that's all right. Just so we have enough space.
Oh, well, Koti is next as well.
Oh, Koti's next. Okay, well, I'll drop off. Sorry, I just see... I think El Rafti is trying to join, so I think that's the issue here.
Okay. Yeah, we're trying
Koti. Big love, man.
Some streaming software. It's very interesting running these events live. I say we go to the second one so we don't kill too much time.
All right. Okay. All right.
Next one is a crowdfunded, crowdsourced podcast app. A podcast in which listeners put their money where their ears are by suggesting guests and themes and donating to the podcast where the podcast they want to see happen. To suggest an episode theme and guest, open this pay code on your Lightning wallet and include a comment with the title of the episode you want to see, including the names of the guests and the theme subject. We have a link here, and let's have a look at this presentation. Oh, hold on, let me get it streaming up here. All right.
I just realized that El Rafty was actually in the stream. Sorry,
No.
guys. Complete
So,
shit show.
hello guys, here we
It's a feature, not a bug. It's a
have crowdfunder podcast. Is basically a simple idea of creating an ad-free
Too much echo.
podcast.
Too much echo, guys.
This one is running on LM-Bits Infinity, which allow us to run a wallet and some modules. And well, basically, we can have our code here to manipulate our RSS feed and concatenate strings to allow us to like embed LNURL specifications into the RSS feed. And here we have the module with the podcast name and description and the new episode, and also like the APIs for contributing like a tip. Then we have the feed and also the API for suggestions, which will be paid out by the users, so they have their content. What they paid for, the way would be like voting what kind of subject or topic they would like to listen to the next episode and which guests do they want, so they will be able to pay for what they're looking for. I think it's quite of an interesting idea, an interesting approach to this value for value way. But the fun stuff is that you can literally like get paid or pay people via Lightning, even on Google Podcasts, on stuff like that. Not only Lightning enable like applications. So basically, this is a very simple RSS feed. We copy here of our simple app. You can look it up over here so you can have an idea. So let's look for podcast here in Google Podcast. Let's add by over here. You go, subscribe. Yeah, you can find it. So here you can see that there's an URL to suggest and so on. If you come here by episode, you can take this URL to contribute. So if you want to contribute to this one, basically you can open up your wallet, send, paste, continue, confirm. Nice, I love your content. Here's 100 sats. Let's see if it gets like that. There you see 700. Then if we go back over here and you have to contribute and you want to contribute, you can also do the same. You paste, and then you comment which kind of episode would you like to see or you would like to listen to. And basically it's the same thing, but like as donating, but you're sending money and suggesting which episode you want, and the podcaster will have to see it. It will be like updated in RSS feed, like you can see over here. Here's a URL. Yeah, if you want to suggest, if you want to donate. Sorry, this one is if you want to donate. And here's if you want to suggest. You can see it on the feed. Yeah, but basically that's it. We're working on something more for the coming future, but that's basically the idea. Thank you.
Interesting idea. I'm not sure if I fully got it, but is it like, is he here? Can I ask a question?
I didn't understand. I didn't understand the value proposition at all. So if you can repeat the value proposition, why did you created it? Why did you created it that way? That would be great to understand.
Yeah, two things is like the to allow, like if you have something like Albi, basically I wanted to do like the same thing as we can tip over Twitter. Like you don't need to wait for a strike or anything else, like to start tipping over Twitter. Like you just put the the emoji with the lightning bolt and your
Yeah.
lightning app, and you can send a tip over it. That's the
Yeah.
that's
So
the
so
same
you wanted to
thing.
extend existing podcasting platform to support the value for value model. That's
Exactly like
yeah. Okay.
everywhere. That's
Okay.
like the main concept. And the second thing, like also like what's the core of it? Like it would be it's just an extension of the value for value. It's not only to tip, but also and taking the paywall a little bit further is like sometimes you can put a paywall and you have, okay guys, this is the content we're gonna produce or we are working on. So here's the the amount to reach, and then you have the the stats sent, and until if like reach is delivered to the public to listen to. This approach is more even like people have the money, they really want to make sure they get just the content they're looking for, not so much into ads. So they can propose the topic they are looking for, even guest as well. Why not? And pay in advance, like pay or vote. Let's call it voting what they want with sats. So the podcaster get the sats, also can share it with the guest, and the people get the content or the value they paid for, without relying that much into the tipping side, because the tipping side of course is cool, but this could be like a good way to incentivize uh, and curate even the content created on X podcast. Let's say that's, I don't know if that answer.
Yeah, you completely answered my question. Thank you, Cody.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Roy.
Oh, have you also thought a bit further, like because with Albi you could like it automatically detects some sort of lightning address and an URL address or whatever on Twitter and other social media platforms. Would that theoretically be also possible with the LN pay link that you add to the description in podcast players actually, so that you don't have to copy paste it?
Yeah. I mean, this is the bare bones of this. This is an idea I've been like thinking on it, like, and then I saw this, so I had to like put some stuff, to at least being able to send and receive. But this is the kind of way that I would love to, like to develop this idea later on, like to make it as, even if you can go into Google Podcasts and so on, like you can make it as smooth as possible, even clicking instead of copying and pasting, like clicking and so on. Like the same thing as you detect, as I said, on Twitter, like the lightning address, you just need to click and then you send the tip. That's what I want to develop later, like get to.
Yeah, I think I understand what you're trying to do. Like basically, Albi would do it. Like Albi could replace interface with on the web page when it detects this, like this, this LNURL code, and so Albi could replace that with a button, for example, and that just
Yeah.
says pay or tip or something like this, right?
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Maybe it's something that could be even cool to go with Albi and get to work with them directly. Uh, sorry, I think
I mean, it could also
I
work with
lost you
any
for.
other mobile wallet that has this logic or this detection logic.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the logic is there, it could be potentially like any Lightning enable technology that can, as long as it's LNURL pay, and that's fine. And can read the URL direction, the address. That's it.
Sounds like a nice bounty for Albi as well, Moritz.
Good. Why not? That would be awesome.
I really like the incrementing amount that changes the description that you have there. Really cool.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Yeah, yeah. The thing is, like, is to show off, like, to show off or like show to the public, like, how it could work, and also like even like because one problem that could happen is that, okay, if you're paying advance for the content you are looking for, like you really want, let's say I want to take John Carvalho and talk about any topic. I would love to, like, the previous content that has been like paid, or they have like this incremented value, it will give to the podcaster the reputation, like he's doing like his job. Let's say he's doing his stuff as a podcaster. Is something that you at least you are like secure that if you pay, you're gonna get what you're paying for, at least, or you're gonna get in the queue. Maybe he's working on something that he saw something first, and then your suggestion will be in the second place, but at least you're gonna get it. I mean, that's an idea, but hopefully something like that. So I think it might work also in that way. This is like an addition, let's say, to the value for value, and pretty cool if working with Albi, that would be awesome as well. Like doing something great over there.
Awesome.
So I was thinking of the reputation wise as well. That's why I left the incrementing stuff so people can see it.
Thank you so much, Cody. Does anyone else have some feedback or questions? Otherwise, we will go over the next project. El Rafty. That was the previous project with the e-commerce stuff. More questions?
Okay. If you have any question, thank you so much. Appreciate it for your time.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Cody.
Thank you, Cody.
Appreciate it.
El Rafty. Your mic is still off.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, we your project was the first one we reviewed, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So since we did it just a while ago, just to put it back in people's context, let us get the link back up. This is Tora, yes? Tora storefront.
Yeah.
I'm just putting up this so that people can see. All right, Tora storefront. All right, there we go. Yeah, so you built a Bitcoin Lightning storefront that allows vendors to create a store, upload photos, upload products, and buyers can pay with sats. Use LN Euro Auth and LN Euro Pay, as we saw in there. So yeah, judges, do you have any comments or feedback? I think John Carvalho, you had some feedback initially, or a question?
Oh, I was just trying to recap what my impression of it was, of like what I understood the goal of it was. Which basically, it appears to be, if I understand it correctly, it appears to be basically a start of an e-commerce platform that, which the main unique thing of it is that you'd be able to do payments in Lightning to buy the things from the store, and you'd be able to log in using LNURL auth to have an account at the store. Is that accurate?
Okay. There are other features to it, like the crowdfunding functionality. The crowdfunding will allow users to actually buy products and actually request for a crowdfund, and we generate an LARP for them, which we've done, but there's not enough time to actually do the page, but it's already done when you click on generate crowdfund. So we generate an LARP for them where people can actually pay till the amount is met, then they can get their products. And the other thing we're trying to do is use order invoices that the buyer, the vendor won't receive the payment until he delivers the product. So those are functionalities we will definitely finish up after this.
So the HODL invoices were from the Lightning escrow, the Lightning escrow based one. Was that the APIs that you were intending on using?
No, I was reading about order invoices from LND. So I was using this. So I think one of the things I see to do was increase the expiring time of the invoice, then kind of hold the HLC um, till whatever you want to do. But we've kind of increased the expiring time, so we're looking at working on the HLC part of things.
Oh, very impressive.
Why using order invoice? I don't understand. Sorry.
So we were looking for a way because you know, the real world, there's like someone who like there's like a company or a central authority that kind of handle this delivery and everything for people.
Oh, you want to settle only the time of delivery?
Yeah. So for every product, the vendors specify the time of delivery. So if the user hasn't gotten a product between that time, then it doesn't get his payment. So that's what we're trying to achieve.
I understand. You know, though, that order invoice is a bad practice.
You said?
You know why order invoice is a bad practice in reality?
Yeah. So I checked about how to do this in Lightning, and all what I was getting was order invoices, and I saw there were a bit of some Lightning users only like order invoices, but I think that's only what we could do to achieve what we wanted to do.
Could you give some context on this, Roy? I'm interested.
Yeah, sure. When you hodl an invoice, basically it means some node along the route, typically either the last node or the LSP, the node before the destination, they basically hold the HTLC. When you hold the HTLC, it means all the HTLCs along the route are being held, meaning it locks the liquidity of all the nodes in the route for the amount that is specified in the HTLC. So for example, if you send 1 million Satoshi payment, this 1 million Satoshi is locked for all the nodes in the route that you paid for until the invoice is settled, until either canceled or settled. So it's challenging to use HODL invoice as an infrastructure. You can get away with it now because there's not a lot of traffic in the network. But if HODL invoice will become to be a real thing in reality, then we're screwed basically. First, there's a limitation. Some implementation, I think, even async limit the number of HLCs you can hold to 9. It's in LND the limit is 246, something like that, or 256, 256 HTLCs. That's not a lot, so you can't really do HODL invoice at scale.
That's very good information to know. Are there any alternative ways to achieve something like this on the Lightning Network, or anything?
So intuitively, the way I would implement it is Lightning is all about instant settlement. If you don't want to do instant settlement, don't do Lightning. But the way that I would implemented it is to actually go and settle the invoice at the store. And if the product hasn't been delivered, do something like LNURL withdraw, where the user can get an instant refund instead of using hold invoice.
Okay, but what of an issue when the user actually gets the product and also does LNURL withdraw?
No, only put a user interface for a refund if the user is entitled for a refund. Don't let him withdraw if they can't withdraw, or if they are not allowed to withdraw. I mean, you need to have some business logic behind generating the link. Don't go and generate the link automatically. Generate the link only if you fail to deliver, or for some other reason where the users are entitled for a refund.
Okay, that's nice.
So another way to kind of add context would be like when Roy says that it locks up the whole route, what he's saying is if you send a 1 million sat payment and there's 3 nodes involved, you're locking up 3 million sats or 2 million sats, depending on how you split the paths. And so that's the problem, is it actually locks up more liquidity than the cost of the thing per peer in the route. And so it doesn't scale, it locks up too much Bitcoin. But Roy went away, but I wanted to mention that, oh, there he is. Roy, I wanted to ask, do you think maybe there could be a way to accomplish this with the lightning rod approach for like offline payments?
Yes, definitely. So with the new specifications of onion messaging and there's a lot of tech components are involved in the offline messages, but basically it means that the LSP will be able, the sender LSP will be able to hold the payment there. And then you'll be able to communicate with the destination whether to complete the payment or not. So yeah, definitely, because then the payment is only locked at the first hop between the user and the LSP or the road. And then the road will be able to communicate with the destination whether to settle the payment or not. So yeah, we're not there yet, but when we'll have all the building blocks, we'll be able to do something to have a better infrastructure for hold invoice. Yeah.
And there would still be some trade-offs even with that. Like you have to actually deliver the payment, and if you hold it and never send it, then there could be problems, etc.
Yes, and privacy trade-offs, because it means basically the destination is aware of the sender and stuff like that.
All right. Really awesome project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're mute, John.
Sorry. Yeah, that was Taurus Storefront. Really awesome project. Personally, I would like to see some experimental stuff happening just to prove out these use cases. If you want to continue with it using HODL invoices, I would still encourage you to do it. If you just want to like learn about the technology and maybe even do a write-up on it and stuff and share it with us, maybe we learn some new things out of that. As an ecosystem. But yeah, thank you so much, El Rafi. Yeah, thanks for hacking. I hope you had fun as well.
Yeah,
hope
it
was good.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna invite the next project on right now. Let us go and see which one is the next one. Okay, so we have Latinoros. Let's go. Let's Latinoros. All right. I'm gonna screw this up so badly. Tormenta Inminente. So it's a platform where creators and consumers can share content related to practical applications for LN-bit-based solutions. There's a design there. We have a YouTube link. Let's see if it goes through. Yep. Okay. Let's full screen it and get the audio coming. Okay. Keep reading.
Is there a sound?
No, there's no sound on this one.
Okay.
Okay, it would be good. Do we have Latinoros on here? It would be good to get some context from them. Okay,
I'm here.
Would be good. Hey there. How are you doing? You're on mute, by the way. You're on mute.
Thanks. I was just setting up the the audio, but yeah, all good. Nice to hear you, to see you all. Thank you for having us. I am speaking right now in the representation of the team. It's two of us, Blue Moon, my fellow Mexican teammate, and myself. And yeah, this Jones was saying that he was interested in something experimental. Well, this is not properly experimental but educative. So compared to the previous proposals we have seen, this is a little bit less technical, so more focused on the educative side of adoption of Lightning. And yeah, in this 30-second clip is just a quick demo on how a website that it's nothing more than a front end of this solution would look like. But let me maybe take a step back and just ask all of you if you have ever felt like you really want to learn something about like a topic that you're passionate about, but you cannot find the right resources. Well, this is something that my teammate Blumon and I felt like when learning about Lightning in Spanish. She's a big fan of music, of putting her hands on creating tools and explaining this to thousands of people on Twitter. I am also very interested in the whole education topic, and that's why I tried to share knowledge related to Lightning in the Latinodos project. But yeah, we see that currently there are ways that allow a practical use of Lightning through LN bits. And I will explain just very briefly this in case someone in the audience is not very aware of LN bits. But well, this knowledge is not always very well known for the non-English speakers, so it is hardly used. And well, just in a couple of sentences, LN bits is an account system that uses LN URL and allows Lightning wallets and external applications and third-party services to create a simplified interaction between a payer and a payee. So what we thought about when we were thinking about this code name Tormenta Imminente, Imminent Storm project is that there is a possibility for practical Lightning Network cases based on LN bits. And in this platform, we want to, well, initially started in Spanish and be able to provide a space for users to consume and share knowledge related to the applications, more interactive and didactic video tutorials and documentation guides, and as well as a community for sharing experiences and knowledge with other like-minded creators and people interested in practical uses of Lightning. We can even, let's say, put the cherry on top by adding challenges and activities to put the knowledge into practice, sort of like the collaborative competition platform Kaggle for Python, but for this type of applications where someone can come up with a challenge and someone else can propose a solution. So, I mean, we have already seen through the submissions that there are solutions based on LN bits, but the problem that we see is that sometimes these solutions are they are lost, and there is no documentation or evidence that there was something that existed as a solution for any given problem. So we attempt to, again, provide the knowledge, document this knowledge, and share it with our community. With this, I open it up to questions, and also I invite you to keep sharing your knowledge and involve the value for value concept.
I have a question about the Lightning integration specifically in the platform. So what are the ways where you integrated Lightning into the platform specifically?
Yeah,
it was hard to understand from this short presentation.
Yeah, no, it's a super valid question because it's something that we don't have a solid proposal as of this point of the idea. It's more like a conceptual thing, but of course there are possibilities of adding either faucets for incentivizing people to provide a solution or a tutorial, as well as paywalls in case someone sees like, this really seems or matches with a use case that I am familiar with, so I give some sats to unlock this possibility. Also, we are already well aware that in different Lightning focus communities, like in Latinodos, there is an interest for tipping other users while you are chatting with them. So this is also another possibility of integrating Lightning. We are not explicitly let's say aiming at one or so other application, but we are well aware that we will be able to apply solutions for this space where the purpose is to educate and share knowledge.
Do you want to bring it to market, or this is just for the hackathon, or like what are your plans going forward?
yeah, we don't have that decided. We really thought that this was something. I mean, it was not just the first idea we came up to. Like, we really had a list of ideas and thought like this is something that we both feel passionate about, and decided to like build something for the hackathon. We would need to really think just based on our availability. We know that there's limited time, and if with our priorities and responsibilities, we could take this on to pursue further development.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Roy.
Be the first type of content you would start on this platform?
What would be the first content to start? Was that the question?
Yeah, exactly. So is it something about LM bits, something high level about Lightning, Bitcoin, or where do you feel the need is for more education on which topic is this particular?
Yeah, we are thinking. I mean, it's not a platform to get educated about what Lightning is or how does it work, but more like a hands-on platform where you see demos. So in the short video, there were already 2 use cases where we tried to envision like, here's how you could create a Lightning ATM yourself, like a DIY project, or here's a situation where if you are an artist, here is how you could set up something based on LM bits to allow your fans to support you. So more like a hands-on type of space rather than an education start from zero space, because we see that there are already content creators and platforms focused on that, education platforms and so on. So yeah, this is maybe, I'm not sure if there is any to stop or pause at some point where you would like to see. Again, it's a very conceptual thing, just aiming to be appealing and attractive. So it's also fine for interested, let's say, challengers or creators of solutions to get onboarded and either join a guide. Read a guide, create a guide, a tutorial, join a community, or get involved with one of the challenges. These are two let's say mock-ups for like real life projects that could be either proposed. Here's where someone could propose like a challenge, or someone can propose a solution to a proposed challenge.
Thank you so much. Thanks for that. And I think, this is an example of a project which, it may not have like the technical stuff implemented yet, but I see it as, we want to get more people into the space, more people building of different technical backgrounds and stuff. There's a big movement in the low code kind of like community, or no code community. In the last hackathon, we saw Rene create these widgets that you can just drop into your website to ask for donations and stuff. Hopefully we start seeing more of those things, so people who are maybe not as technical, they could start implementing some of these Lightning features into their websites easier. So thank you so much for
Two things I like, Jones, just to interrupt you. 2 things I like very much about this project is, one, that it came for a problem that you felt, meaning it was inspired by a pain that you've experienced. That's always good. And second, the focus on education. I think it's very important. We need more educational projects, not just, like you said, Jones, not just like the hardcore technical stuff, but also things around the Lightning education. So
yeah, 100%. So really commend you. Awesome work. And thank you so much for participating and being in the community.
It was fun. Thank you all. Goodbye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao. All right, guys. We have another project to review here. Let's see, which is the next one. Okay, let me share my screen here. Okay, so we have LN Link Lightning contracts. All right. Interesting. Rokundo and Demeji. Oh, I'm so horrible with this. Name of the product is LN Link. To drive Bitcoin or Lightning scale and adoption, it's important to do the work of abstracting complex elements within the ecosystem and make them easier to use or remember. Link.
I see the old project, Jones, in the screen. Maybe it's just me.
Oh,
Same here. I'm still seeing the old one.
sorry.
There we go.
Cool. Thank you.
Another lead submission there. Yeah, so the next one is Link is a platform that allows you to store public persisting payment information like node IDs, XPub, Bull 12 offers, and tie them into a phone book model system people can remember with a name and an image. Okay, interesting. This is great for frequent payments like donations, but also for occasional bare refund without having the other party send you the payment request each time. There's a GitHub link and a video here. Live link incoming. So let's have a look at this one.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, you guys can see my screen. Okay, let's make it big.
Hi, everyone. Allow me to introduce Link. This is our submission for Shock the Web. My name is Colin Rukundo, and my partner is called Dimeji. So this is the platform, and essentially what it does is fix one problem, and which is the idea that most of the things that we use today within Bitcoin and Lightning are a bit too technical, and there has to be a way for us to abstract all that and make it easy for people who are actually coming into Bitcoin, new users, people, everyday people, that they can actually use something that allows them to keep track of, node IDs and XPubs and Lightning addresses, bottle offers, so stuff that persists, but also stuff that's actually very, very public. So we wanted to make a solution for that, and we came up with Lightning Contact, and it's actually inspired by Bitcoin the design. The idea for it would have been as part of a larger, wallet, but then we thought about making it work for just, simply as a place for now for this solution, really for this hackathon, as a place where you can go, save contact and also, initiate payments through your wallet. So this is what it looks like. We thought about adding LN URL auth at the beginning to when you log in, but we'll of course add to this as we continue to work. So this is the first page. We have a couple of contacts up here already, but I'm going to run you through how you actually make a contact. So so add new contact name. So let's say I don't know how thingy. So I think this is the one. So submit. It's a contact, and you can see how is up here. So this should show the number of addresses that we have for this particular contact. So we can go into Hal's page, and we can actually, add an address. You can also pay or edit the contact up here, but I want to focus on adding addresses. So essentially, for the addresses and not addresses, but the payment request formats that we were looking at, things like bolt of offers, node IDs, and XPub. And the reason we focused on those is because with XPubs, you can always generate an address, although it's not entirely secure, but I mean, it is a way to, kind of make it easy for people to actually make payments without having to go the extra mile of asking for an address each time you want to submit something. So in a way, it does take advantage of the one address per payment, and it's really, really helpful. Same with the node ID as well. You generate several Lightning invoices, and that's the idea. And also Boltwell, which is still not very common today, is also a very good solution. The Boltwell offer is really fantastic, I think, and I hope to see that go mainstream sometime soon. So let's add an address. So maybe you want to add a node ID. I could maybe get something from 1M1. One second. Let's see what address Satoshi has an address here. So let's try and add. So this is a node ID. It's here. Save. Right. So we've saved. So you can see that this is the node ID for this user, this contact, and you can always choose to pay them. So where our solution, we didn't go as far as generating the QR codes and everything else. But the idea here is simple, that you can always check your contacts, and you can always come into the contact directory and figure out a way to pay them. And the goal is, if we have the node ID, we can always generate payment requests. If we have an XPub for this contact, we can always generate Bitcoin address that they'll be able to receive payments in. And if we have a bolt of offer, well, they can always just make a payment directly to this person. So that is the idea behind Link. The goal is to abstract complex elements that we use within Lightning and Bitcoin and make it easy for people to keep track of users, donate to causes and things like that, things that are used frequently, without having to always wait on the person to send a request. You can always just do it directly within your directory. So that's Link for you, and that's it. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone.
Jones, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Hey, Rakundo, thank you for that. For participating in the hackathon. How's your experience been so far?
It was crazy. I didn't have much time. I was traveling up and down, and we had to make sure we push out something as soon as possible. So it was, and you notice that some of the things are not like really well built out entirely. But the goal was to show exactly what this can actually do. But I've really had fun with the project. It's been very exciting, and I think we kind of set in the pitch a bit late, but and apologies for that. But ideally, we've had so much fun building this out and trying to make sure we can submit something in time for the project. So it's been great. It's been great, John. Thank you so much.
That's really awesome.
Jones, if I remember correctly, that is based on your old design, right?
Perhaps, maybe, I don't know. Some of the content got rolled into the Bitcoin design guide. But yeah, I did work on a concept for contacts, and I've been trying to get wallets to adopt it for a very long time. And yes, so hopefully something like this can spur and inspire the rest of the community to start implementing such kind of design patterns in their applications. Any questions from anyone?
Just to say something, interestingly, we actually did look at because the design, the guide for inspiration for this project. So most of the things that you see in the project actually were inspired by, I guess, your work. I know it was your work, John. So yeah,
well,
I think that.
Well, Christoph wrote that page and stuff. I've just been shilling contacts for a long time, and did a design and stuff.
Rakundo, question: when you add an address I saw in the demo, you can add an address. First, not sure address is the right term. I'm interested to learn why did you decide to use that as a concept, but you don't do any validation, right? Because it was like an open field to write the name of the address and also the content of the address. I don't think there's validation there. Am I correct?
Yes, you're very correct. So we thought about it in two ways. One is, do we add an extra field to select an address type? Maybe you get to choose, this is actually a node ID, this is an XPub, and you can just select it. Well, you can also label it, but then we went ahead and say, let's just make it an open field, and then we can add validation later. So we're going to add validation. It's a plan we actually have because that's important. And ideally, if you paste XPub, we'll know it's an XPub, and we can also show you what addresses we think are derivation paths as well, and give you some more context on what we think will, this will actually share. So that's the idea. But that was in the 3 days that we had, and also I really didn't have time to do most of the work. But that's the general concept, to add validation later as you proceed.
Okay. Just don't forget AMP. There's also another type of destination, which is AMP. People forget, but I think it's very useful. And I think John will say to you that there's no real issue in sending multiple payments to a Bitcoin address. So not sure. So
it's Roy, we're being about it. Go on. Steve. I was going to say it's the design guide's fault. We're being a bad influence, Roy. I'm sorry. Yeah, we have this page in the design.
No,
guide. contacts.
I was just trying to trigger John.
But yeah, so we have because it's relevant. There's a conversation we've been kind of having, when this contacts page was being built about like what is an address, and like obviously you have a Bitcoin address and it's not this thing you want to reuse, but it's like we had this long discussion about, well, should you have you can have technical terms, right? Like a Lightning, you make payments; on Bitcoin, you make transactions. But maybe for the user-facing side, maybe the terminology doesn't mean the same. And ultimately, for the context page, we kind of came around this idea that for what the user is concerned about, an address might just be something that kind of remains fixed. And so things like a node ID or like a Lightning address or something like that. Conceptually, that's kind of like an address because it's something that they can reuse over and over again. Whereas like something like an invoice is like more of a payment request. It's or you could think of a Bitcoin address itself as being kind of like a payment request because you're really only
and LN URL pay link
one time. So the terminology is a little. Sorry.
LN URL pay link is also. No, I'm saying that there are too many.
Yeah.
There are various, but I was mostly referring to the fact that maybe it's worthwhile to add a real Bitcoin address to the interface as well, not just XPub.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nuance here, so I'll cover a few things, and I'll try not to take up too much time. But there is definitely nuance with whether or not you reuse an address, and it's not necessarily always evil, especially in this context. This context could include associating an address with a user. And so if say that user has a whole Bitcoin in that address and they keep paying you from that address, you can now associate that address with that user after the first time. And the next time they send Bitcoin from that address, it's from that contact. And so there's some nuance to the usefulness of this. It's not useless, even though privacy-wise, people will say to use a different address every time. You can't stop it coming from the same UTXO. And so that's something you can sense and show in a wallet and communicate to the user and automatically. And then further, as a privacy thing, if it's the same, if you reuse an address with one contact and you have one address per contact, it's not necessarily evil. It just means if somebody finds out your relationship, they will have history to find out instead of just one transaction. But the idea here is you shouldn't be giving anybody any information that you think you don't want them to share. So, this is an argument. But then the other nuance here is, which is probably more important, is things like paynims and things like abstracting payments into a key can be represented by one pub key. And so you may get something like a paynim that will automatically generate a new address on chain each time. And there's things like silent payments that are coming out. And so there are various ways that you can represent a contact as one key. And then the last thing I'll mention is /tags and /pay, which is highly relevant to this. Johns, you'll be very happy when we finally release our wallet later this year, because we are addressing all of these issues and more. And so, Rukundo, I would advise you or hope that you have a look at what we did with /pay. It's just a proof of concept that covers, it's not app level like what you're showing. It's more, primitive level. And so you could build with it. But it's a way that you could have exactly what you're describing here on a technical level, working in a network and working within a wallet app and abstracting things to a pub key and then negotiating all the different payment types between the peers to match between peers. So like if you have Bitcoin and Lightning in your list and I have only Lightning in my list, the wallets could detect this and just make a Lightning payment. And the user just sees pay the guy and he doesn't see how it's paid. And so the apps can handle this. And so it handles a lot of what you're approaching from the app side, but from the technical side. And so we show a proof of concept of that. You can look into it if you want to.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I mean, for me, really, what I want to see more is, I'm from Uganda, so what I want to see happen is for us to make tools that actually are usable. That means that can we actually make something that people can actually use without having to worry about, what's the next pub? What is that? How do I make a payment to this? Lightning, if you only have, if I only how do I pay this person without, if I have a node ID, things like that. So maybe trying to think about how best can we, make these things easy to understand and design better, tools in the Bitcoin Lightning space. So yeah, this is
Maybe this was what Roy was hinting at. Is you do also need to be careful who you hand out your XPubs to. It's not necessarily the best practice to be handing out XPubs to your contacts. It would be better to abstract it somehow.
Yeah, and one of those addresses could be also like a link to a BTC Pay server or a Tip in Me or something like that, where you're able to like call a different service. I could go on and on about this pattern. Many of the folks on this call have heard me talk about it to length, but I really think it's something super important. And you mentioned that you want to possibly create a wallet out of it. Part of the in these hackathons, we try to like introduce this concept, this specification called WebLN to people, right? And one of the reasons for that is because it deals like a wallet that's implemented WebLN and has a browser. It already has the send and receive kinds of functionality built in, right? So then you are now able to not focus on the wallet part, which is pretty standard, send and receive. You now are able to amplify and innovate on different types of user experiences that are not just send and receive, right? It's coming up. It's coming up. John is sending me some notes here. So it's not just send and receive, right? So one of those things can be like there's different types of identifiers. I typically refer to them as identifiers. Those could be identifiers which are able to, create payment destinations, but other kind of identifiers on a contact could be for some communication, right, with the person, right? So through that, you can start creating some really cool experiences. For example, you're able to now request some money from someone of a certain amount, and it could pop up on their device or something. I, for instance, would love to see this contact-based stuff that you're doing stored as a local storage app inside of Breeze, right? So Breeze is a mobile wallet. It has a browser. Hold on. If the code is built into Breeze and you trust Breeze to store your data, then I don't, since there's no extensions and plugins that can, in the Breeze browser that's able to like inject code and stuff outside of that ecosystem, now you can actually have a contact functionality built in HTML and stuff, and you're able to interact with it. And Breeze already takes care of all that wallet stuff already, and the LSP and all that. It's very difficult to build a wallet, right, with like all this kinds of functionality. And then the other thing that I would mention is WebLN is typically for Lightning now, is for Lightning now, right? So you put in the node pub key there, it's able to actually, there's a key send spec in there, which you're actually able to pay when you press that button. You can implement it in JavaScript, right? And it'll call the wallet up. And now there is a new specification group. And there's a new specification group that's out. You could check out the website. It's balls.dev. And it's an acronym. And you can check it out. It's the Bitcoin and Lightning layers specifications. And a new spec is coming out, which is WebBTC. And this will allow both on-chain and off-chain Lightning interactions. So again, these things with XPubs and Lightning and node pub keys and all these key send stuff and on-chain stuff that you want to do, these identifiers, they can actually be wrapped up into this. You could utilize this basically spec to call on the wallet that implements those features. So yeah, I see a lot of promise in this and very awesome work.
Just another. I want to throw out another idea out there. I'm not sure there's not a place for a public directory that is useful. For example, people associating either their social network handles or their mobile phones with their Lightning destinations, and then if you do something like that, I'll just give you an example. You can have the widget in the Breeze application and integrate that with your local contacts. So imagine there's a matching between your local contacts and the public directory, and then we can magically understand that that one of your contacts has a Lightning address, and then you can send payments to the address seamlessly and automatically. I'm not sure there's not room for this type of public directory solutions.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Maybe someone could make a directory of like nonprofits that accept Bitcoin as well. John wanted to say something.
Yeah, I just want to mention that this is actually how /pay works. It's not a public directory in the sense that it is a list of all the names. It's a public directory in the sense that each user actually has a public file that can be found on a DHT, and it's like a link tree basically. So when you check, when you use that user's pub key to find their file, it will have a list of all their endpoints. And the endpoint could be a Lightning node, it could be a website, it could be a Twitter account, it could be a Lightning address. It doesn't matter what it is. And then you could use that to create automation and different user experiences. You could even use these, like you could basically scrape these, say as the wallet that supports this, you could keep a copy of all of your users' public, directory files, and then you could serve that, and you could create a user experience to serve that as a directory, You have some privacy trickiness here legally, so you have to be careful what you do and what you share, but if you have consent, then it's different.
You should also check out Nostr. It's a very interesting like relay network for messages as well. And last thing I'm going to say about contacts for hopefully this month, you can also use it for coin selection, right? So you can now do coin selection based on like a cluster of coins that you shared with that individual, and maybe you decide you can start getting data on the frequency of payments, and then you're able to now kind of like provide optimizations for the project, like for that contact. And for example, say, hey, you're making quite a lot of payments this month with this contact. Why not open a Lightning channel with them? But
we all got in a soapbox here. Sorry, man. Like we all had our own like spiel to share with everybody. But yeah, obviously that means your project's interesting. So thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Awesome work, man. All right, let's go to the next project then. By the way, thank you so much for taking a weekend out and doing this. And also big thanks to the judges and Fulger, Oleg over there for sponsoring the prizes. That'll be coming up soon. We have a couple more projects to go through. But really, guys, thank you so much. I hope you're having fun as well. And hopefully the next project is not about contacts. Either way, I think I've said enough on it. All right, let's go to the next one. The next project is called LN Stack Tips. All right, let's go. Let's see this project. LN Stack Tips.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Eziobi, and my partner, Omoni Ilesomi. Our team is LN Stacks, and we built a project, LN Stack Tips. So this is basically a forum where developers can post their questions. These questions can either be incentivized or not, and persons that answer these questions can claim rewards of the question based on how much votes that were given for the particular questions. So for questions that are going to be rewarded or are incentivized, whoever is posting that question has to set the amount, the reward, that's in Satoshi, and then the vote threshold, that's how much votes the answer is supposed to get to be eligible for that reward. And then persons could also post other questions without any reward. That's also fine. So for persons that are answering questions, for questions that have a reward tied to them, the user has to provide a secret. This is to ensure that they are only able to claim that question, because we're using LN URL withdraw to pay out that reward, and it's just to ensure that whoever is going to be claiming that reward is the one who answered that question. So that's like the authentication we are using for that. I'll be handing over to my to Omoni to give us the demo of this.
Yeah, thanks for that, Jenny. So as Jenny has said, it's just a platform to like compensate people for answering questions. So it's not mandatory you answer the one. There are questions that does not have reward there. So I'll go with a sample that has reward here. So I'll click because of this. This actually shows that this has a reward and this does not have a reward. So I'll pick on one with reward, and we can see here. We can see here that okay, these guys are actually available. Then I can just click on this answer, and this guy is available for reward. And for me to, because it's available for reward, I can just claim the reward. So but before I claim the reward, I would like to walk us through how questions and answers are created. So that will make me, for me to create an answer, I need to be signed in. So I will sign in, and I have my username and password, and I will just click on sign in. Yes, I'm signed in. And then also ask my question. For me to ask question, I'll just use any string here for the purpose of time, and I'll do this. I would set anything as my tag. So and for reward, like I said, like Jenny said, you don't have to like, it's not mandatory you create a question with reward. So but for the purpose of this demo, I'll create one with reward now. So I'll check this, and if you ask me for the reward in satoshis, so I'll say 10 satoshis is fine. Then the vote threshold is just let me say with 2 votes. Then I will just click on submit here. Then the invoice will be displayed for me. So sorry, for the purpose of time, I'll just pick the invoice on the console and try to pay with my lightning pool that is running already, my lightning and my polar rather. So with polar, I can paste the invoice here on polar and try to pay. So yes, and then payment was successful. So as we can see, the question is already part of the question listed there. So I can, as well, now try to see all the questions created by this user. And for these questions, these are the answers. So I'll just try to claim now. Or let me go through the flow of answering questions too. So if I want to answer a question, I need to provide a claim, which is the hash that will be used at the point you want to claim. You need to provide the secret at the point you want to claim these funds. So this is just the hash. We believe you have the secrets. This is to make sure that even staffs of an LN stack cannot claim these funds because you own the secret. You know the secret that was used to create this hash, and you can provide your answer here. So once you post your answer there, then your answer will be available, right? So once your answer is available here, then I will walk us through an example of claiming now. So for us to claim, I'll just attempt to. So this, you can see people voting, and you can see also. So for us to claim funds here, I could just click on claim, and it will ask me for the secret for the hash. So let me pick the secret here. So this is the secret to the hash, and I'll click on claim. Yes. So now I have this was done using the LN URL withdraw. With the LN URL withdraw, we used to display this scan. So any Lightning wallet can scan this and get the amount of satoshis tied to this question. Thanks for your time. This is just a brief summary of what we've done for the hackathon. Thank you. Hey, 5 minutes.
All right. What did we think of this one? Question and answer.
That's a really nice project. I really liked it because it's a concrete use case, and I think like I would use a similar platform. So I really liked it. I have a few questions though, if the creators are online.
Jenny.
Yes. Hi, everyone.
Hey there, Jenny. How's it going?
It's going well, thank you.
You enjoying the hackathon so far?
Yes. Myself and Omoni, we worked on this project. Although we couldn't make it to the opening, but yeah, we've been on this.
No problem, no problem. Can you tell us a bit about yourself if you'd like to? You don't need to.
Okay. So like I said, I'm Jenny. I'm a software developer. Sometime this year, I went into learning about Bitcoin and Lightning, and I am in the current cohort of Kala's training for Bitcoin and Lightning developers. So that's mostly most of it.
Nice. Nice. Well, Roy has some questions there for you. He is quite eager, so let's get him.
Really nice work, Jenny. I really like the demo and the product. So congrats.
Thank you.
I have a question about the technical question about the claim. Like, why did you implement the claim the way that you did? Can't the application associate like when you answer a question, can the application know that you answer the question and hold the claim in your account, and then when you come to claim, do that automatically? Why do you need to do this copy paste with the claim?
Okay. For the claim, we are using LN Withdraw for that, and basically
Yeah.
it's just to display the QR code. So the funds are already in the wallet. It's just for the whoever was able to get to that vote threshold to withdraw that funds. So to be sure that it is the actual person that answered that question that is able to claim that funds. That's why we had that secret and hash going on, and then we had the hash just to make sure that even no one else can claim that. So you're just going to have a secret. You hash it and then provide that the hash of that secret to us. And then when you come to claim the reward, you just provide that secret. So we in the back end, we are hashing that secret that you provided and then sharing it with the hash provided in the beginning where you were trying to answer the question. And that's how we can confirm that you really answered that question and then you can get the fund.
Yeah, I understand that, Jenny, but
Yeah,
if the
I think
user needs
in
to
addition,
log in order to answer a question, and if the same user needs to log in order to claim, why do you need to do the manual copy pasting of the claim? That was my question.
hello.
I think they don't need to log
Yeah.
in. That's why it's a.
Hello. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm with Jenny on this, but I'm in transit at the moment. But I think I can take that question. So the reason we're doing that is because it's actually a voting. We give out the reward based on the votes. So for instance, if I post a question, I might not actually get the threshold of the votes at that particular time. It might take 2-3 days for me to get to that threshold. Take for instance, you are the one posting the question, and you say the threshold to win this reward is 2 satoshis. So
Yeah.
I might probably be offline by the time it's 2 satoshis. So I might not be online at that point. So we need a way to tie that satoshi or that winning, that reward to you. So we ask you to say provide the claim hash to us, which we believe you are the only one that have the secret. So when you want to come and claim, of course, it's available for everyone to see that this question is available for claim, but no one else has the secrets except you. So that way you are very, very sure that you're the only one that can claim this one because you created the answer. And you don't actually need to log in to create an answer. You actually need to log in to create a question alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't need to log in order to answer. That's the reason.
Yes. You don't need to log in to create answers.
Yeah. So I like this idea a lot. I mean, I think it's very useful. I think, right now, starting it off, as a kind of developer resource would make sense because a lot of, developers are going to be the one who are going to be interested in these, newer Lightning features. But, it seems like you could scale the idea, like just like Stack Exchange for pretty much any kind of question and answer idea. I do find the payment hash thing problematic. From a user experience perspective, though I see why you implemented it the way you did to require to allow for a passwordless or login-less answer experience. It seems to me like if you post an answer and you then also have to post reward funds, your service would be custodying those funds temporarily. So it seems to me like for a long-term deployment of such a solution, like you could implement an optional login feature or improve the way that you do the payment hash so it's a little easier for some users. But having said that, I understand the rationale for it now, and I think that is seems like a fine way to implement it for a 48-hour hackathon. So.
And you have anonymous login options with LNURL auth or /tags or whatever. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, John.
I think it's interesting to try to do accountless types of things. I think, practically you end up making more and more types of account user experiences. And just basically the hashes are the accounts. They're both the account and the password. The problem with that is, of course, if they lose the hash, now not only did they lose their account, they lost their money in their account. And so that can be problematic, and you'll get this will cause more customer service work for you. And so eventually you'll just add accounts because you don't want to do customer service, if you are at scale, at least. But I do think it's interesting to try to do a countless account stuff. And I will mention that I don't have any questions, but I'll mention that I liked one of the results of this design, which is, as a viewer of the website that hasn't answered a question, I see all these buttons there that say claim Bitcoin. And I think, oh shit, I want to answer these questions and make some Bitcoin. I want to click that button, And that was my impression of it. It was like, I really liked that specifically because while it was a result of, a short-term design, it still created an outcome that made me think I want to participate because now I feel left out, because I can't click the button,
Well, you can do the same with an account, but
Sure, yeah.
But you're right.
In other words, I liked the result of it, which is that you ended up with a button on each thing that said, earn money, and I'm like, oh, I want to earn money,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can very, very much think of that. It would work well, especially in the Lightning ecosystem, and it's still very developer driven. There are also a lot of new developers that have a lot of questions, right? And there are people who can actually answer it, and then I think they're also happy to answer them. And there, at least, you don't have this problem of onboarding people to Lightning because a lot of them are already on Lightning. So this could be a great niche to start off such a platform. So I think it might be worth actually to go on with that idea a bit and try to evaluate with real users.
And we'll also be definitely in contact about this because we have some stuff in the works as well.
Yeah, turn it into a business.
Awesome work, Jenny. Awesome work. Is there anything else you would like to say?
Yeah, I think I would like to thank Barry, because when we had challenges, so we had to when we were trying to implement the LN, that's the LN bit part, the LN URL part, we had some challenges there. And then we just wanted to thank the organizers for making the platform, the Q&A available for us, where we could share our difficulties and challenges. And we got responses, which we couldn't have come up with this without that too. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, white space is really important to check for. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. We have another project to go through. Let's get this one up. Where is it at? I think this might be the last one. It's called Bits and Sats. Let's pull this one up here. Bits and Sats. Bits and Sats by Anipai. All right, so team of one. Bits and Sats is a multiplayer tic-tac-toe kind of game which you can play with your friends and win sats. Okay, very interesting. I just want to click on this link to check it out. Okay, no, let's watch the. Ooh, very interesting. All right, sorry guys. Let's go back to the video. That's where we're starting.
Yep. So, hello everyone. My name is Aniket Bull, aka Anipa. And the project
Yeah, the volume is pretty low on this one.
Yes, it is, and I'm not sure how to.
Does your amplifier go to 11?
I'm not sure how to do this one. Is it terribly slow? Terribly quiet?
We'll figure it out, Jones. Not sweating.
Okay.
Hello everyone. My name is Aniket Bull, aka.
But you can probably make it double speed or something.
For Shock the Web Hackathon 2 is Bits and Sats, which is a multiplayer game you can play with your friend for sats. So, before talking about Bits and Sats, I would like to talk about multiplayer game which has two-player occupancy. Like there are certain fundamental functionalities which needs to be there in place irrespective of the game. Like it needs to be a functionality where let's player A can create room. The system gonna give a room ID to player A, and there needs to be a functionality that player B can join the room by adding the room ID. Since the game, the occupancy of a game is 2, there needs to be a functionality where 2 plus n player, where n is greater than or equals to 1, cannot join the game, because if they join the game, they're gonna disturb the game. We also need to have a functionality where we can keep track of the score, and depending on certain condition, gonna declare the like who is the winner of the game. So yep, it's super easy with the multiplayer games which has two-player occupancy. But the idea I have in my mind for bits and sats is like before creating the room or before joining the room, both of the player needs to deposit certain amount of sats into the system. So when the sats are successfully deposited, then only they can create the room or join the room and play the game. And in the end, the winner by both of the players. That is player A deposited sats plus player B deposited sats. With some fees is the final amount. But the problem here is while both of the players are playing the game, we need some kind of escrow payment system to hold our funds. And also when one of the player wins the game, we also need a function to trigger, which can like, easily send the payment to the winner of the game. So some of the great solutions to implement bits and sats can be like creating withdrawal link and displaying the withdrawal link to the winner of the game. And the other solution could be like using some Lightning ES4.io kind of API to implement. But the thing is, not using any of this stuff currently in my project. So let's see the. So yep, the landing screen will initially display no wallet found if the user browser does not have the Lightning extension wallet installed. But Brave browser has the wallet installed, so it will display main menu screen. Yep. With window.webln.enable if the window.webln value is not equal to null. So yep, let's create a room. Deposit 10 funds initially. We deposit 10 funds from Ram's account wallet. Yep. So when the funds are successfully deposited, then only we can create room. So we need to pass the wallet address here. Yep. Create room, and it will give a room ID that we can share with our friends. So I like to split my screen into two. This time we will join room. Need to deposit 10 sats. We'll deposit 10 sats from different account. Yep, now the sets are successfully deposited. Let's join the room. We'll copy and paste the game ID in here. Join. So yep, room is successfully joined. So that's bits, sats, bits, bits. So RAM won this round. Sats, bits. The player who will score 2 rounds first is the winner of the game. So now let Sham score this point. Scoreboard, both of them has similar points. Now the player who won the game is the winner and will receive the total amount of winning amount. The total deposited sats by both of the players. So I'm on the team. Boom. In the team. And for to use soon. And for bits and sets. And you lost the game, better next time. Ram has 390 sats. And Ram has 420 sats. Which means that the sats is obviously increased by 20. Initially it is 400. So yep, That's what bits and tags is all about. You can play with your friends. And yeah, so the thing what is implemented in bits and tags is not discussed yet. Technology stack used for creating bits and tags. Flutter framework is used for front-end development. Node.js, MongoDB, Express.js in combination with each other is used for back-end stuff. Socket.io is used for real-time emitting and listening events, and done some stuff with LNbits, WebLN, and LNURL pay dot request inbox. Oh yes, that's it from my side, and thank you so much.
Wow, so I think this was our first game, but I'm not sure if AnyPie is still up. Because yeah. Yeah, this was oh, he's there. Hey there.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah.
How are you doing? For
Yeah.
the judges and everyone else listening, yeah, could you say a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Uh, my name is Aniket Ambore, and AKA Anipa. So yeah, like I decided to create bits and sats earlier. I discussed this with like in a mixer maker chit chat one with Jones and Ed also. So yeah, that is bits and sats I implemented. Is there any questions? Yeah.
I have a question. Why the dependency on Albi there in the game?
I'll be there in the game. First, where I like I'll be in the sense like uh,
The
the one
wallet, like
wallet. Yeah, yeah. We can use any wallet, right? Like initially, when you browse bitsandSats.netlify.app, it will check that your browser has the wallet installed or not. If the wallet is not installed, it will show you no wallet screen because you need the wallet to deposit funds for creating the room, for joining the room. If your
yeah.
browser has the wallet, then it will display main menu screen, and after that you can write create screen and as well as join the room. So while creating the screen, like can I share my screen because I implemented a small PPT stuff which I'm not
No,
able to add in the video.
I
Yeah,
understand. I understand the flow, Anipe. My
yeah,
question
yeah,
is
yeah.
why did you decide to be dependent on Albi? And for example, users can use their mobile wallets or other wallets in order to
Okay,
fund
okay.
the process. So why created this dependency? I mean, they can use Albi if they got Albi, but why not just display them invoices and allow them to pay from external third-party wallets? That was my question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The plan with bits and sets I have in my mind is first for the hackathon, I decided to implement a website stuff. I used Flutter framework for the UI development. Flutter is basically a cross-platform framework. We can deploy for multi-platforms with a single code base. So now further, what I decided is to implement bits and sats for mobile platforms as well, for Android as well as iOS, and do the deep linking with the wallets, with the mobile wallet stuff, which for now onwards not implemented. So, like you can consider it a kind of demo stuff for now. But
Okay.
yeah, it's you can
You mean
play with it.
WebLN? Use WebLN when it comes to mobile, maybe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.
And just to be clear, I wasn't quite sure about the dependency that you're talking about, Roy, with Albi. It seems to just be WebLN.
Yes, sir. It is basically WebLN. Like we can use any kind of wallet.
Yeah, it's a
Like
WebLN.
window.webln, we need to access the global variable. That's it.
Yeah.
Then we can access any kind of functions. Window.webln.send payment.
Basically, what I'm trying to say, it's great to be WebLN aware. I mean, if you're in a WebLN environment, great. Like give the WebLN experience to end users. But if you identify they're not running in a WebLN host, then show them Bolt 11 invoice. Show them LN URL pay or LN URL withdraw. Allow them to interact with your game, even if they're running the game outside of a WebLN context. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So yes, the future, that is basically the future scope or the future planning, we can say, to deep linking with the mobile wallets as well, for the mobile users to play bits and sats in their Android as well as iOS, cross platform, no big deal. So yep.
I love it. Also, really great work on just the presentation on the amount of detail you went into. I'm gonna enjoy reading through all the experiences and stuff you had there. So thank you for that.
Hey, Johns, I just in the private chat, I just put your Get Albi address and like the hash if you want to play tic-tac-toe with me real quick. I'm sorry. I went. I put your Netlify link in the web browser, and I, started playing around with it and using it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm also very interested in like more kind of like games and stuff. Utilizing things like WebLN and in the browser. There's a lot of creativity and stuff that we can like explore there. We had a really awesome talk from Andre from Zebedee last hackathon as well. And they're all in the gaming space and stuff. So maybe there's some APIs and stuff we could promote and stuff on the next one from there. But yeah, really, really awesome work. Martz, you had any comments or no? Yeah, really awesome work, Anipai.
No, not. But I like that we also have a game as one of the project submissions.
Yeah, right. It's I'm surprised you actually got it built through. You did say that you were gonna give a surprise. So really awesome work. Congratulations on it. I see a great amount of work being done on this. So
And can we use?
Thank you so much.
Can we use any Lightning address in there we wanted? Like it could just be like a Zebedee Lightning address or something.
Yep, you can use it. I did not tested it with Zebedee, but yeah.
Got it. In theory, should work. Got it.
Yeah.
And the reason for using an LN address is to settle the escrow afterwards. Like you can't trigger the WebLN make invoice function.
The reason for taking address from the user is basically when the winner who wins the game, we will make invoice with LNURL pay.request invoice, passing the lightning address to that particular function, the tokens, which is the total amount of winning sats, and the command. It will make invoice on behalf of the user. We will pass that particular invoice to the LNBits API. The LNBits API post method will basically trigger the payment, and then the user, the winner of the game, gonna receive the final amount of sats. So that's basically the complete thing which is implemented. That's why I used LNURL pay.request invoice.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. There's some. I need to dig into the project in order to understand. But if you pay using WebLN, you can also receive using WebLN. So why not do? Why not do this? What do you mean no?
No, in the sense, WebLN dot make invoice is a function where we need to make invoice. But the thing is, it's basically a kind of bad UX practice for the user to make invoice as well. Because initially user is passing the Lightning wallet address, and LNURL pay.request invoice can make the invoice on behalf of the user. So that's why WebLN.make invoice. So the user don't need to make the invoice, but the code will make the invoice for the user.
Yeah, I understand what you said, but I don't understand why are you saying that? Like why the user can't initiate the make invoice themselves? That's what I don't understand.
It's a two-player game, though, right? So
yeah.
The user from the person from the other side has to like have to get an invoice from the second player. So I can't call it maybe.
Like make invoice is not implemented because ln pay dot request invoice does the job. Because like if we implement make invoice, it is basically a kind of plus one step for the user of the game to make the invoice.
No,
when it
you can do, no, you can do that seamlessly. No.
I guess when we use webln.make invoice, it actually triggers our lightning wallet, because we need to add the amount of funds to receive, and then only it will give the invoice,
Well,
right, that we can share with.
Depends on the way the wallet implemented the interface for. But for example, in Albi, you can set a threshold. Moritz, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can set a threshold that the make invoice works seamlessly without triggering any UI.
I don't think so. We can pass the parameters to make invoice.
Yeah, but it's up to the wallet. It's up to the WebLN host to decide whether to display a UI or not.
Moritz, perhaps you could chime in on this one.
I think in Albi there's you can set a specific threshold, and if the invoice is below a specific threshold, then there's no UI for making invoices.
Okay, maybe. Yeah. I think Moritz.
But okay, like it still triggers our wallet, right, for making the invoice.
No, it triggers a JavaScript function, and of course it triggers the wallet, but the user it's seamless to the user. There's no user experience implication when you do that.
You're talking about the budget feature, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, this is not budget. Make invoice is for the wallet to generate an invoice sent to the website.
Yeah, but for this there is no automatic function in Albi.
Yeah, but I mean, these are all good points. It's also like a 48-hour hack, and like if you were to actually build this out as a product, you could get around a table and have like a really in-depth technical discussion about the right architectural approach to take for it.
The asymmetry between the paying and the receiving, that's what kind of triggers my OCD.
You see, I think one of the things that we have to also pay attention at these events and stuff is, there's a lot of patterns that are going to be coming up, a bunch of lessons that we're going to have to try to learn and figure out and experiment with. And there's libraries, especially for hackathons like this, that need to be created to make some of these things easier, because there still aren't that many of them. So for instance, the concept of like showing like doing that detection of WebLN and having all these different fallback mechanisms, it's it's a lot to implement in a very short hackathon, but we really need to get more get more like small JavaScript codes and small libraries and stuff that we could just pop it in.
I'm just saying what I'm saying because I like the project very much and I want it to be successful. That's it. I'm just trying to provide productive feedback. You did a great job, Anipay. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Like also, I just want to add several points for your question why we did not use the WebLN not make invoice. First thing is like when the user wins the game, lnurl.pay.request invoice gonna do the job behind the scene. The user does not know. Like user deposited the funds initially where we used webln.send payment. No big deal because user needs to deposit the funds to create the room or to join the room. But after when the user plays the game, user won the game, that is the responsibility of the code or that is the responsibility of the developer to pay the user. So that's why the code gonna do the work.
The problem with that, yes, I understand that. The problem with that approach is that you rely on custodial platforms. The problem when you decide to use LN-URL address, it means the user has to have an LN-URL address. And today, in order to have an LN-URL address, basically it means you need to rely on custodial platform or you can host your LNURL address yourself, but it's a IT savvy task to do that. Like you need to run a node basically and to run the entire stack yourself. So what I'm trying to do as a developer of a non-custodial wallet, I'm trying to find ways for people to play your game without relying on custodial services.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But I would also like to add in this case is that I would like to see actually a non-custodial gaming platform where the payment directly happens between the players. So where you do not have to deposit something with the game, but get paid directly from your opponent. I think this is also something that a lot of like game developers are actually, or app developers in general, are looking forward to, or would like to see, because then they don't have to take custody of funds, and that would ease their life greatly.
But I think in this case, you use the Lightning escrow, which kind of solves this issue. Correct me if I'm wrong.
But what about the HODL invoice stuff then that was
Yeah,
mentioned?
so Lightning escrow, I hope that we need to work with Lightning escrow in order to get rid of the HODL invoice to something more scalable that will come in the near future. Yeah, but it should be a black box basically. If you use Lightning escrow today, it will use HODL invoice, but tomorrow it will use some kind of better technology. I don't think it's up to the game developer or to the hackathon developer to start working with these non-custodial escrow technologies. The fact that what I'm trying to say, like the fact that you used Lightning escrow is great, and any implementation, any protocol implementation that will allow us to deprecate HODL invoice will happen in Lightning escrow.
I think also one thing that was mentioned by Super Testnet is that Lightning escrow is not custodial. I don't know to the extent of this, but
yeah, because they use HODL invoice.
Yeah, it's super interesting. That's definitely something that I personally want to learn more about. We're gonna do a series as well, a little vlog series. We're gonna announce it with Super Testnet to do some design explorations for these HODL invoice Lightning escrow based things for a specific use case. So we'll be publishing that throughout the next few months, the design process of that. But yeah, Anifai, this was like really amazing. We've gone on for quite a while here. I think we're at the 2-hour mark.
Thank you so much.
No problem. And thank you so much for engaging. Thank you for hacking. It's all love, and it looks very, very interesting. So keep up the good work.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and thanks for staying up so late. I know it's quite late by you, so thank you.
Yes, man. It's 12:37 a.m. in India.
Okay.
Wow.
20th of June. Let's see.
You're in the future already. All right. Thank you so much, Anita.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. So for those who have remained, we will be closing down the stream soon. Where's Edward? I need my co-host. Edward.
There's another project in the spreadsheet, Jones. Lightning Chi flows.
Okay. This was.
Yeah, hey guys, we just got a late submission from OV1 Kenobi. The only thing is that Connor has dropped out.
Yeah.
And as has Nifty. So we can maybe present these projects, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to be scored just because they didn't really get in the deadline. And I think maybe just to be fair to everyone. Does that sound fair?
We'll deal with that offline. I don't want to hold up anyone else's time. The rest of the stuff we could do like asynchronously and stuff. We can also show off the video. If there's a video, we can show it off. in the meantime, because I think, yeah, just for anyone else who's watching the live stream, but for judges who have stuck in here, really thank you. For the judges that had to leave, also thank you for your time and your attention. But Mr. Carvalho's back here. Yeah.
So you don't want us to score the last project? Just to clarify.
We'll do that offline. We'll discuss it offline. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, if you want to chill with us, the rest of folks who are here on stream, you can. But I don't want to have it mandatorily that you stay here. Yeah.
So are we going to be watching anything from the other project?
Again, I'll do that offline, but
okay, I get it. So what are we just, when you say like just hanging out, are we like literally just hanging, like what are we doing?
Oh yeah, there's another, hopefully there's another video.
Okay, so we are watching
Johns, I sent it through to you. Yes, to answer your question, Stephen, sorry. I have put the project in your score sheets. If you would like to score it now, feel free. But we will deal with the issue of Connor and Nifty not being here offline. So if you'd like to save yourself some time and score now, feel free. But,
yeah, but there's no links to the last project, and that's what's missing.
Yes. Okay, sorry, 1 second.
Okay. 17 to 19. Okay. Yes, video is unavailable. The video is private, so I cannot see it. Yeah, this is very interesting doing this like shorter format. I guess what that means is that we're going to be having a 1 month hackathon coming up. We're not sure if it's going to be in the fall or if it's going to be in the winter. But yeah, we're going to be having a longer format hackathon. And this is to basically give people a chance to more comfortably hack. We did 7, we did 2 now. We're learning here as well. There's different purposes. This one is definitely a lot easier for us to set up and organize. A bit lighter on the team. We're a small bunch. But yeah. But what I would say is, yeah, the video is not available here, and but let's try to get him to do a submission on the website so other people can view the project, and yeah, in the meantime, we can probably just do the rest of the voting and stuff offline and start the next thing in our program, which is Ed. The closing ceremony.
We are, yeah, absolutely. So I think we're going to take a short break now for about 45 minutes. So we can talk offline between the judges, but I'm basically just going to go through the score sheets and tally them up, the ones that we have so far, and then we'll chat with the judges, and then we will come back on in about 45 minutes, hopefully, and announce the winners. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. I know it was 2 hours on a Sunday to give some of your time, so we really, really appreciate it. And thank you for sort of bearing with us with some of the technical difficulties and the volume knobs and whatnot. I think also the advice, I would just say the advice that you guys and questions you guys asked to the participants, obviously bearing in mind it is a 48-hour, 72-hour hack. And they did really, really well, but it's really great to give some of this constructive feedback, I think, because hopefully some of these projects will continue. We saw some really cool ones today, and I think we'd all agree that it's really impressive work, but you guys are some of the experts in the industry, and I think it's really worthwhile giving some of this advice to the people, and I'm sure you'd agree. But hopefully we've entertained you somewhat. Feel free to say any last words if you would like to. But again, just thank you so much for taking the time. And yeah, hopefully Shock the Web 3 will be more organized and have less technical difficulties, but yeah, we appreciate you bearing with us.
We didn't have technical difficulties, by the way. These were all planned.
I think the level of organization in this Shock the Web was much better than the previous Shock the Web. So I think like your platforms is you're using your own platform for the hackathon, which is amazing, and I think it makes sense. Like and everything is online and the submissions are very clear, so that's awesome. And I think also from the session standpoint, the sessions are very well organized. Like at least from my standpoint, like the panels and the judging sessions were amazingly organized. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, Oleg.
I can't do the hard.
No, I think this is definitely something that you can build on. I think you do such a great job for the whole Lightning ecosystem, and I really hope that you keep doing that. It's definitely a pleasure to help you.
Thank you so much.
Are you thinking of engaging like other companies with challenges, or some kind of like giving some kind of format that has like certain like direction for challenges, if that makes sense?
One of the things that we hope, or I personally hope, that this doesn't turn, I don't want it to be kind of like just something marketing-y, right? The most important thing is that we're providing value to the people in the ecosystem. And so if there are challenges, yes, we would love to engage with them. But we also want people to have the freedom to kind of like experiment and do things on their own. One of the things that we're hoping also is that we get people to connect more and more APIs and stuff together, because that's when you start seeing more robustness in the use cases, right? So if you're using just LNURLP, then that's a certain type of thing. But then when you add off, and then when you add huddle invoices, and like the more kinds of APIs and specs and stuff that you start using, the more robust the projects can be. So we're hoping to see more of that in the future. And so if there's some companies willing to support that, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Oleg, would you like to say a few words as well, man? You're sponsoring all these prizes that are about to get given out.
Yeah, not really for the sake of time, probably. Really, only words of gratitude, guys. Thank you so much for putting so much effort into doing this. It's all your time and your effort, basically. So yeah, really proud to be part of this. Thank you so much for making this happen, and hope to see more of this.
Thank you. Well, we hope to continue to get some support from all of you guys. How about we take that break now, so you guys can just do the final scoring and stuff, and then hopefully you don't have to do it for see us for the next few months until we ping you again. No, seriously, guys. Seriously.
Let's do it. Let's do more of it.
Super thankful for your time, all the time giving, really.
All right, thanks everyone. I'll talk to you in a bit here.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Guys.
So it was just us, Eddie. We remain. You're muted, by the way.
There we go. Yeah, I was tempted to talk about that idea that we had about particular companies engaging in these things. I wonder if it would be.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. I think you mentioning that has made my go ahead. Yeah, I think it would be kind of fun to do a Lightning Olympics where maybe, right, hear me out. For the last 2 hackathons, we've been getting some of the experts in the industry to judge makers, right? So we've had makers come in, they're first-time users, they're building on Lightning. And yeah, we've had some of these awesome people from the industry come in and judge them. I've had an idea for a Lightning Olympics where maybe we get some of the leading companies in the industry, Breeze, Synonym, Albi, Ellen Bits, all these people, Galoy, anyone who wants Spiral, anyone who wants to get involved. Maybe we have a hackathon for the pros. And we just get them to do it kudos style. And hey, yeah, maybe we could get the makers to judge them. I don't know who would judge it. I think there would probably, I don't know if there would be prizes or anything like that. Maybe it's just for reputation. But it could be fun. Loads of things to explore. You also mentioned the idea of maybe a month-long hackathon. I think we're still kind of playing around with a lot of these formats. Last time felt really intense for a week, but also kind of a bit too time consuming for a week, right? And because it was like so full on. And then this time was, I think the first day was really good, just in terms of fitting all those talks into one day. And I think they went really smoothly. I was really happy with that. But then again, just the 3-day hacking, like, was that long enough? Is it not long enough? I was super impressed by some of the projects that came out of this in terms of like, just what they put together in the space of like 48, 72 hours was really cool. But yeah, we've discussed this idea of like, hey, maybe we could do a month-long hackathon where it's a bit less pressure. People could work on more longer standing projects that they're working on. They can sort of just find an evening here or there or a weekend. And it's not so specific to just a few calendar days. It's more of a month, and it's kind of more of a rolling tournament. So yeah, we'd love to hear everyone's ideas, I think, on this. But it is kind of just all experimenting, right? Maybe we haven't found the perfect fit yet, but we are kind of coming up with a bunch of ways of how you can run hackathons, right? And we'd be very interested to share our thoughts and how these things have gone as well from an organizational standpoint. But yeah, they are a lot of work and they're a lot of capital. And so I think just to thank everyone that has helped us, and also to thank the sponsors again. And also, you see up on the screen there, supported by. Those are just, some of the companies that have done talks, some of the companies that have been involved in helping us over the last few months, some of the companies that have helped fund it. I think a big one there as well, on the left of Folga, is Peak Shift as well. These events, Bolt Fun, and a lot of stuff is done by Peak Shift, a sort of design and development Bitcoin studio. AKA Johns and Co. So yeah, just a big hats off to the team there, and really to everyone in that list. It's really great, and it's just amazing. Like, there aren't too many spaces, ecosystems in the world or in tech where you get such a great level of interest from so many of the sort of experts in the space, and people who are just willing to give their time and effort for small causes like Shock the Web. And I mean, things are growing, Bolt Fund's growing, it's great, but like, we are still in the infant stages. So we just really appreciate every little bit of support that everyone gives us. And just want to say a big thanks.
Yeah, like, subscribe. Like, subscribe, and what's the other thing? The bell button. Oh yeah, like, subscribe, and press the bell button. That's the YouTube thing to say, right? Now,
turn the notifications on.
Turn notifications on. There we go. Yeah. Let me do a little shout out. Breeze. You have Breeze here, who's doing this mobile custodial, non-custodial. Roy's gonna kill me there. This non-custodial Lightning wallet, but it's not just a wallet, Lightning application. Roy doesn't like hearing it's called a wallet, but it's a Lightning application that's packed with a bunch of different features. We got like podcasting, a POS system, but it's actually becoming a lot more than that. We got Lightning Labs there, really critical company in the space, working on L&D and stuff. Galoy, they're just killing it with Bitcoin banking based stuff. The Bitcoin design community, it's a really great community, bitcoin.design. There's a guide if you want to learn how to, if you're a designer, researcher who wants to learn about Bitcoin in a less technical way, a really great resource there. There's Albi, this leading WebLN extension. We got Synonym, Mr. John Carvalho there, killing it with like a bunch of developer tools and an upcoming wallet that implements a bunch of cool abstractions. We got Amboss. They're really cool service that's providing some important data on your nodes and allowing like the audience to users like visitors to of the websites to consume this information. Satoshi's Jungle, Satoshi's Journal, sorry, in the jungle. Getting late, my brain's getting mushy. And Fulgur Ventures. Really want to thank Oleg for sponsoring this event, main sponsor, and helping us with the prizes there that we're going to be distributing to the winners. And I'm waffling.
No worries. All right, well, let's hop off. Let's figure out who the winners of this competition are, and we will be back in just over 30 minutes, hopefully, to announce those exciting prizes. So keep the stream going in the background. We'll play some fun hip hop, lo-fi music. Just chill, relax, do your thing, and we'll be back soon. Cool. Okay, everybody, the time we've all been waiting for. Thank you very much for all of your patience. We really appreciate you bearing with us. I do want to point out that we are only 9 minutes late. I think last time we were about 45 minutes late. So yeah, I just want to say big thanks. And yeah, we are here to announce the winners. Before we get started, Johns, anything you want to say, or should we just get into it?
Do you want us to do our usual waffling?
No, I think we've done enough waffling, man.
We've done enough waffling.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I know that there are people in late time zones who probably want to get to bed and all that. So
yes, let's go on.
Why keep the people waiting?
Do we have a drum roll? Do we have a drum roll audio? I don't know.
I see Latinodos doing a drum roll for us there. There we go. All right, here we go, guys. Okay. First of all, just want to say a big thank you to all of the makers. Wouldn't be able to do all this stuff without you, and just really appreciate you guys putting in so much effort over the last few days and just engaging with a lot of the material. And also thank you to the judges again for giving up their time on their Sunday, and all of the workshop and talk hosts. Super generous of everyone to put such a huge effort in, and we really appreciate it. So first up, best design. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this one. It goes to Link, which is the LN contacts. So congrats, guys. That is a $100 prize money. So that's really cool. Link allows you to store public payment information, such as XPubs, etc., node IDs, basically the information of contacts, sort of akin to sort of a phone book style. Yeah, we really liked the UI. We thought it was really cool, as did all of the judges. So yeah, big hats off to the guys at Link. John, any extra thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm really just excited about this project. I really hope they continue. It's one that's actually quite interesting for me personally, because yeah, it just could unlock so many new things in Bitcoin user experience. And I think it was a great example of seeing the Bitcoin design guide being implemented. The work over in the Bitcoin design community by all the contributors there is really awesome. And the goal of the Bitcoin design community is to increase the adoption of Bitcoin. And in order to do that, one of the problems that the community is hoping to address is onboard new designers, and just like help open source projects. So if you're interested in contributing to the guide, or if you're a designer or have design friends, and design is a kind of like it's quite of a loaded term, right? So it's a community with makers, creators, designers, researchers, artists, all of those such. And yeah, it's really useful resources in there. Bitcoin.design, check it out. Link, they read through the guide and they implemented some of the compilation of knowledge and information and best practices that a bunch of brilliant and clever people came up with. So yeah, really excited to see how this one can evolve.
Cool. Yeah, me too. Yeah, we did a lot of work on contacts. You did a lot of work on contacts. It was cool to see that, and also cool to talk about some of the like still some of the kind of like hard parts to figure out about it. I know some of the judges had some good thoughts on that. And yeah, hopefully provided some good constructive feedback for the guys at Link to continue. Okay, third place. Here we go. Are you ready, guys? These ones were really close, by the way. So yeah, hats off to everyone. Okay, third place goes to CBP. Okay, nice. So that's Koti for the podcast. So this was kind of all about listeners putting their money when their ears are. I love that. By suggesting guests and themes for sort of podcasts that they love. Yeah, I thought this one was really cool. I thought it was like a really interesting sort of reimagination of what could be used with like Albi and WebLN, which we always love to see. And yeah, just a really cool podcast. I think it kind of like it felt a little bit outside the box for me, which was really nice. Any thoughts from you, Johns?
Yeah, I really like how how it kind of like engages kind of like platforms that already existing. I think that's something that's really cool. And I still listen to a lot of my podcast and music and stuff on the web. I know that's probably old school, but hey, the web is an open platform. Anyone from anywhere could once they have an internet connection, could publish their media, their projects, whatever. And you don't need an App Store account. You don't need to get approved by anyone or pay developer fees. So I really believe in the web and the freedom that it gives to makers. And I think this is one of those other things that I want to see it continue being developed, because there's some cool things that could come out of it. Some Albi integrations. Let's get a bounty up, guys. Putting you on the spot. Let Kodi keep developing this. It looks really cool. I like the incrementing. That's something else I find quite interesting. The incrementing of like it's showing the amount in the description. It's showing the amount of sats that were donated. That could even be in the title, and it could be made dynamic. So yeah, that could also be quite interesting for the audience participation part. I'd love to see a web UI as well with it. Really awesome work. I think just like the previous one, it's one of those things that lays a foundation that could be very interesting to explore further.
100%. Yeah, cool. So that's $250 to Kodi there. So good job. Okay, second place. Are we ready? This one was a really cool one. Okay, second place, Bits and Sats. Good job, Anipai. So this is a multiplayer tic-tac-toe kind of game, which you can play with your friends and win sats. I thought this was just really cool. I loved how much detail he went into with his pitch. Like there was just clearly so much effort that went into that. And yeah, I think it kind of speaks for itself. It was also just really cool to have a game, right? Like we kind of spoke about that a little bit in the lead up to the event. We spoke about that idea for maybe like a Lightning Leagues kind of game or something like that. And I just thought it was really cool to see someone actually implement it. And yeah, I'm for sure going to be playing tic-tac-toe with my teammates from now on. Want to start playing, Johns?
I like also that it wasn't just like the typical XO kind of thing. He had Bitcoin and Lightning there, so it's kind of like yeah, very nice design. I know he did all the development and the design and architecture himself. So yeah, really awesome work there. Anipai. Anipi.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was a one-man band. So yeah, really cool.
One-man band.
Really good job.
Yeah, amazing work. Keep it up. I hope you keep developing it as well. And that's for all the projects on here. Keep working on these things. I know a lot of times You know, like like people attend hackathons and they don't, you know, it's like cool experimental stuff, but some of the stuff that we saw today has such potential in the space to just bring so much value. So please keep working on it because we really need these kind of things. One of the things that we talk about a lot and why we have this app directory, it's because we want to shed light on these projects. Breeze, Roy for Breeze, he wants to have more apps in his Lightning Web apps in the Breeze wallet, and that could open you up to a whole bunch of new users. And just even that concept, right? It's kind of wild because let Breeze do all the marketing and you know all that, and you get featured in their app, like app directory and stuff, and then you have access to a bunch of users. I'm pretty sure a bunch of people bought pizza just to try it out, right? Because that's in one of the apps in that directory. And what's great about it is that if Breeze decides to remove it from their store or they whatever, it doesn't matter because it's on the web. You know, anyone can access it still, and it's using open technologies that can be published anywhere. So yeah, yeah, keep going with it, and really fantastic work. I can't hear you, by the way.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah, sorry, muted. Yeah, great work. Bits and Sats project, that is $650 in the bag. So congratulations. Okay, guys, the moment we've all been waiting for, the number one spot. Do I hear a drum roll? Okay, here we go.
Oh, no, what did I do?
What did you do?
No!
Not the time to rearrange the screen. Okay, cool, guys. First place, LN Stack Tips. This one was really popular with the judges, and just a super awesome project. Also, just a really cool use case. I mean, I can just see this being used on so many blogging sites. I mean, I can see this being used on a whole number of things, but like blogging sites, developer platforms, our platform, all sorts of stuff. I mean, like, why not? I mean, this is really cool. Users ask questions the whole time. There's always FAQ sections in all sorts of places. There's always questions to be asked and answered. And yeah, you know, why not incentivize an increased quality of these answers, probably quantity as well, and then also hopefully some reduced response time, but just by incentivizing it through, you know, the financial reward of some sats. I thought there was some really also clever kind of ways that they were working around the solution there. And yeah, it was just really great. So I think this is a two-person team. I think it was Jenny and Omani. I think that's maybe how you pronounce it. But really great job, guys. $1,600. Super happy for you guys. You must be very proud. John's thoughts? Muted.
That's my thought. I'm speechless. That's what I am. Yeah, this is very interesting one as well. Yeah, so you may see like these like intercom chat things on a bunch of different websites. Intercom does you know, it's traditional web widget kind of thing. They do a you know, knowledge base tool, and I think they also have like a FAQ thing. And yeah, I just see this as a way for products, like, and especially products in the space. Not even actually, the applications are even greater than that because now, you know, people from anywhere can be answering questions and making some money. So yeah, it's very interesting application. The incentivization games that you can also play around with it by like crowdfunding questions, like the reward pool and stuff like that. I think that could be quite interesting. And these are one of the things that we kind of talk about a lot is like the incentivization gains and payment flows of these new Lightning Web applications. You see, you don't have to focus on the wallet now. You can just start focus on the interactions, the payment flows, and the incentives. And once you're able to do that, things like LN Stack tips come out. So yeah, I'm super excited to speak with the team further. Maybe we can get some integrations on our platform as well. Another project I would love to see just continue going. Stephen also mentioned, turn it into a business. There's something there. And if you did want to turn it into a business as well, or get some startup advice, Fulgur Ventures, Fulgur.ventures, Oleg over there, is going to do he has some office hours. You could chat with him. It's one of the top venture firms for Bitcoin only companies in the space. And and that's probably for any of the projects out here. If you want to get some advice on how to turn this into a business, please reach out to him. And even like he's putting up his time for this. It's his job. Like even if it's like going to be something of a new and good experience for you, I think if you have that entrepreneurial kind of like mind, then go for it. It'll be a good experience to get such kind of feedback on the project. But yeah, really, I think the quality of projects this hackathon is just wow. It's just I'm super impressed, and
Absolutely.
not just by the winners. It's like all the projects being submitted here is just really wild. We had education, we have games, we have like these content-based stuff. It's really awesome, really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, also, whilst we're here, I want to give a shout out to the Tora team, to Tormenta Imminente. I think that's probably how you'd say it. Probably completely botched it. And yeah, obviously everyone else as well that got some prizes. I mean, like you said, there's other teams, the education side of things with Tormenta Imminente. I thought that was really cool, just addressing like their own problem. The Tora storefront, again, I can see that being used like very easily with e-commerce. So yeah, I just, like you said, the quality of products that came out of that. And not to mention as well, I do want to give a little shout out as well to a couple of the other projects. We had ones which unfortunately didn't make it in time for the submissions and didn't get judged by the judges, but there was a lot of effort put in by some other people. We had OV1 Kenobi, love the name. He had a project called Lightning Chi Flows. We also had some projects from Austin, who's the Bitcoin pleb dev. He was working on some stuff with someone as well. And then I think there was also one from Sadiq and his team as well. Sorry guys, I don't know who all the team members are, so unfortunately I haven't given you guys all a shout out, but we do know that there were some more projects being worked on, and we will give you guys a shout out on Twitter and those types of things. So thank you to everyone who took part. Really, really cool, and just yeah, kind of blown away. I mean, like 9 projects. Hey, Johns, you're beating me to it, man. I had this lined up in my slides, so just
no. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, be patient, my friend. Yeah, I just want to say well done to everyone that took part. Again, shout out to the sponsors. Everyone on there has contributed in some way, shape, or form, whether it's financial or just by giving us some resources through talks, workshops, and maybe just a bit of love and support, whatever it is, through the judges. All of these companies have helped us, so thank you very much to them. And as John's mentioned, he clearly did not see my slideshow because he just beat me to it. But yeah, as Folger Ventures, they are the lead sponsor of this hackathon. They put up all the prize money, and yeah, as John said, they are one of the leading VC firms in this space. And if you would like to think about turning your project into a company or into a sustainable project, book an office hours with Oleg. I think we're also going to try and get him on a Twitter Spaces pretty soon, maybe either this week coming or the next. Hopefully we can tie him down. I know he's a busy guy, but hopefully we can tie him down and get him on a Twitter Spaces as well. So if you have questions regarding this type of thing, about how to fund your company, how to take it to the next level, or how to look for sort of VC funding, definitely join that episode of Nuts and Bolts. We will let you know when it is, of course. But that's it from us, folks. We will see you at Shock the Web 3. We will let you know what format this is going to be in, whether it's going to be a short one, a long one. We think it might be a long one. We're just going to see. But until then, just hop in Discord. We will probably head over there for a little bit of a make a hangout. We can just kind of shoot it all together, talk about what was good, what was bad. Feel free to come and give us some feedback as well, or just hang out. We're all friends. So yeah, we look forward to seeing you next time, and I'll let John's wrap it up.
Well, okay, just one thing. My slide had a link.
People can't click the link.
Yes, but it's a short link. You see? It's a short link.
I'm going to put that link.
Oh, no. You see, now you have no time to do it, so my slide wins. All right. So this is a link, bit.ly.
Put it in the comments.
Oh, yeah, there you go. bit.ly/STW2 folder. And, oh, okay. Yeah, you're being smart now, huh? Nice. Okay. Oops, it was delivered. No, yeah, no, really check them out. We're really, really thankful to them. And yeah, as Ed said, we'll be chilling in Chit Chat. Come join us, and yeah, let's wind down. Give us your feedback as well. And oh, there's a few things I need to announce. Okay, so on the 14th of November, we're going to be having a Shock the Web live in El Salvador. So date is announced for that. That's yeah, Shock the Web live, but we're also going to be having our virtual hackathons also. There's going to be another one in the fall, and yeah, it'll probably be a bit longer. So please engage with the community. Why we want to do it for a month now is we want you to continue hacking and making high quality stuff and interacting with one another. And because we think being together is what's and working together and collaborating, sharing knowledge is what's going to build these great next innovations in the space. And we have, I guess, kind of enhanced the stories feature where on BoltFun, makers.boltfun. So yeah, if there's any things that you want to share about tutorials. I saw a lot of folks doing some Polar setups and interacting with LND on the command line. If any of you guys want to create some tutorials, we will be giving sats away on a monthly basis or weekly, depending on the amount of content, to your to some articles. We'll feature them in the newsletter to get us some clout. Also, what else? Yeah, if there's any kind of lessons and stuff that you want to share on there, please post them. We're trying to get some more tutorials in the ecosystem. We'll also be dropping some sats on all of the other projects, just as a thank you for participating. So once you have your project submitted on the as a story, we'll drop some sats on you in the coming days. But
absolutely. Also, feel free to just write about your Shock the Web experience as well. I think that's.
Oh yeah,
cool.
yeah. Really great point. If anyone does a write up on how they found the event, what they learned, just any kind of feedback about your experience, this is not only good for us, but this is good for other people who want to like attend hackathons and just get some perspective. Some of you it's the first time at your hackathon. Hey, let's hear from you, and this can inspire other people potentially to join hackathons, or maybe not. Maybe it's crap to be in a hackathon because you're giving up your weekends. Maybe talk about that too. If you have like significant others to go and attend to their birthdays or something.
Or if you just want to waffle.
Or you just want to waffle. Oh. Oh, that was from you. I thought that was from someone else. I'm like, oh, ouch. Okay, I'm done.
All right, guys, that is actually it from us now. Give him a wave, John. Does it work? Yeah, there we go.
See you in the Discord, everyone.
Cool. See you next time, guys. Bye bye.